how sunny it is. What is going on with my hair? All over the place today. Apologise for the hair. But it's lovely and sunny. I thought I'd open outside before I go inside. Yeah, it is that time of month again where I have to do a roundup. So I'm not going to do my usual because there's a lot to go into. I'm going to just highlight some of the good sales that I had. I sold a iPhone. I sold a Ralph Lauren blazer. I sold for £100, which was great. I sold a CD player that I got for a fiver. What else? Oh, I sold a Bonnie doll, Dolce & Gabbana tie for £80. The Bonnie doll went to the States, not the States, Canada. So yeah, there's lots of little bits that I've got that I sold. Lots of toys I've noticed. Yeah, some good bits. I did get a return of £75, which hurt, and straight after I got a return of 20, which ain't good, but yes. Okay, I sold a Brandon Urie plush, Panic at the Disco. I think it was £45. That went to America. I sold that one of the 40p items I got from a carboot that sold for £20. That National Geographic fleece, that was good for a little flip. National Geographic fleeces do actually quite well, and it sold pretty quickly as well. What else did it sell? Oh, a Brito Mickey plush that I've had for ages. I got that 50p. That's off for like 25, I think. Oh, a vest. I got this. It was like a moon tweedy kind of like vest top thing called Noak, N-O-A-K. I think you can get it from like ASOS, but that's off for like 40 odd quid. But I paid like £16 for it. I got from Sambatch with Sam. So this is just my dailies on eBay. And yeah, as you can see, they look all over the place, and they look like, oh my god, I've hardly done anything. But then when you look at that, I just wanted to point out the biggest elephant in the room, the £423 day. That was a very big day for me. I ended up selling quite a lot of items, and there was one that was like a couple £100, so there was quite a bit. Yeah, so it does look a bit kind of skewed. That's because it is. I did have a no sale day on eBay, and that was the second Monday. But I checked, I did have a sale on Vinted on that day, so it wasn't a full donut day. These are my averages for the week, and usually my minimum is about £100. That is what I need to make to live comfortably, pay my bills, and then have extra for fun. That's basically my baseline. And as you can see, it hasn't worked again. Only 2 weeks were averaging over 100 a day. I mean, look, that's because of the yellow. Look at that, 400. That's only because of that 100. That 133 is what I was used to about 2 years ago. Last year, it was all over the place. But yeah, the year before, I was getting that average. My 130, well, it was like 110 to 150. That was my average. And it's gone down dramatically. But I'm working to push it back up. Yeah, 93, just not all over the place. I mean, look, I'd had basically 2 really good days back to back on there, but then you have like kind of weekdays. Yeah, not the best. The second week was the worst week. I don't know why. Consistency has been a good thing, but I don't know why it's not working. But I hit 100. 128, but then the lows are really low, 25, 34, 17. It's like, that is not good. Yeah, fourth week. The last week is basically the 3 days. There was 3 days that was the tail end of March. Was actually surprisingly good apart from the very last day. Yeah, 102 and 127, but look at that. Boom. But yeah, I wanted to just show you that those averages, because if you average out my averages, it actually came to, I think it was £92. So I am hitting over, obviously, on average £92 per day for the month. But I think it was £92.25 altogether, actually. But yeah, still not good enough for me. I mean, if I look at like last month, it 70, 71, 124, 92. It wasn't the best. I think that averaged out around 80, so it is up. In March, on the surface on eBay, doesn't look amazing. So, however, this is my March roundup. I sold 107 items, and I just want to quickly focus on that. The number of items was 107. Just look at what happened in January and March. 106. Sorry, January and February 106, February 106, March 107. That's weird. They are almost identical. My cost of goods. So I've been rounding up to £4 because I feel like that's what I've been paying out recently. The past few months it's been like £3.70. I think I've been spending a bit much, just a bit extra. So cost of goods £4. But if you look at the ASP, it's gone up to £24.92, just short of £25. So that's almost a foot. Well, it's a £4.20 something, or £4.18 increase from last month, and yeah, it's kind of like rectified itself because January £24.60. The thing is with my ASP, because I'm doing consignment, a lot of that stuff, well, I have no control over it, so it could be lower value items. And that's fine, as long as it sells and it gets out. But if, say, like I sell like £10 items, that could still make like a big bulk of my money. But then I'm used to maybe 3 or 4 items making £100. Do you know what I mean? So it's like it works out at 24 instead of 10. So yeah, expect the ASP to fluctuate massively this year. But my turnover was this is weird. Look at that. £29, £2,929 and 29p. 292929. It's weird. And my fees, and when the cost of goods all come into it, I think that ended up being something I think it was £1,429 or something like. It was something weird. Anyway, yeah, my turnover this month was that, just short of £3,000. Turnover in February, 2,479. So that's like a £500. A £450 difference. I want to show you my Depop and Vinted next. I'll move me over here actually. Just move over there. Oh, let's move over there. So this is I love this graph. I know it seems ridiculous, but I do kind of love it. I love seeing all the data. I'm a bit of a data head if you haven't noticed this. Yeah, so let's just analyse what happened in March on my third-party channel platforms. No sales on Etsy, the lone January sale on Etsy, but I haven't really put much up. I've got like 12 items up, so I really need to push that. So Depop March, atrocious. Honestly, I feel like Depop is dying. I really do. I think that all the traffic that used to go on Depop during the pandemic has really followed the trend and gone over to Vinted. I really do. Because look at that. Look, last year's 740. A fluke. An obvious fluke. But look at that. It was even less than February and January. What? In fact, that was my lowest Depop take since ever, really. Well, not ever, but, since I started doing this graph. Look at that. The lowest take. However, my Vinted wasn't bad. It was okay. It was the 4th highest I've made, which is £423.97. So altogether it came to £543.09, which ranks in the top 10 at least. It's not like amazing, but yeah, that really did kind of like knock me for 6. This month, the Depop, I thought I would do pretty well, and I haven't. It's kind of annoying. In fact, it's the worst one. And I was putting on Depop, I boost all my items, and I put on, at one point I put on a 30% discount, and I got nothing all weekend. And it's not like I wasn't listing, I was listing every day. So it's weird, it's just so strange, and it's really pissing me off actually, Depop. I can see why people don't use it anymore, but it's so wild. I mean, it might go up this month, that's the thing. And I might as well. I'm cross-listing anyway, so you never know, it might be a good month. But yeah, March also continued this weird kind of like downward trend on Vinted. that I've been seeing. Although, like, sorry, upward trend. It's kind of like it goes up and then it goes down, then it goes up, down, up, and then down. So now that we've gone down, I'm hoping that we're going to go back up. But yeah, it would be nice to really. Oh, I so like the most I've ever made is £668, and that was in October on Vinted. I'd love Vinted to be the bulk of my business. I really would, because there's zero fees, and it's really easy and simple to list. And I know people who literally throw everything on Vinted and just go for it, and they do really well. But for some reason, my stuff is just not happening. And yeah, £423. It's okay. It's still pretty good, but it's not like where I want it. I want all of these three. I want Etsy to be 1,000. I want Depop to be 1,000. I want Vinted to be over 1,000. And then it's like balances out eBay very nicely. So if I have a shit day on eBay, then I have a good day on the other platforms. Right, so these are just the totals on the line graph chart. Now look, this is one thing that I wanted to just kind of point out. This is one of the only months. So March last time, you can see there, I had a shit day on it, a shit month on eBay in March. Net profit was one of the lowest, 1,169. But I had one of the highest, the highest Depop and Vinted combined totals. So that kind of balanced each other out, and you can see that by the by the narrowing there. It's narrowed. Completely the opposite. Third party at the bottom there is gone down, but then eBay has gone up. So it's technically, I'll show you the vote share. I'll show you the share. Look at this. So the blue is my total for reselling across the board. So this month in total, £2,040. Now if I look at March, watch this. Last year, £2,036. So technically I've made £4 more. It's like a win is a win is a win. But I'm on the same level. They've just kind of swapped amounts essentially. So Depop and Vinted really did fill in the eBay gap last year, and this year it's kind of the opposite. eBay kind of held steady and Depop dipped. So yeah, not the best, but not entirely bad. I want it to go back to October where I'm knocking on the door of 3,000. Okay, that is everything that I wanted to talk about really. I'm sorry it's a bit kind of like haphazard, this monthly roundup. I've had a decent month. Like, some of the things that I've sold have been quite chunky items, and I've been quite happy with some of the things I sold. I just wish I'd sold a lot more, obviously, is the job. But yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you, but please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.